Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Victor Umbog, an aspiring data analyst. And here I'll be talking about data mining and its methodology. The first question would be, what is CRISP DM methodology? Not everybody knows that CRISP DM methodology is a method for data mining. CRISP DM methodology stands for Cross-Industry Process for Data Mining, which provides structured approach to planning a data mining project. These processes are broken down into 6 categories, where we have the business understanding, the data understanding, the modeling, the data preparation, evaluation, and lastly, we have the deployment. Let's start with the first step, the business understanding. The business understanding is a process that covers all important factors that influence the outcome of the data mining project. We move on to the data understanding, which is the second step. Data understanding is all about gathering data and checking for quality issues such as errors, missing values, and data inconsistency. Let's move on to the third step. The third step, which is the data preparation. In this step, you have to get your data ready for analysis, and at the same time, you need to document your analysis. The fourth step is the modeling. In this case, you have to choose a specific model technique and design a test plan for your model. We move on to the sixth step, which is the deployment, and it is also the final step to this methodology. This is a process whereby the evaluation results determine a strategy for your deployment, and it also organizes and summarizes all your own analysis. And now we've talked about the cross-industry process. We now understand this method and what it is used for and the step. Now we move on to what are the things that needs to be done before you carry or focus a time series analysis. So the question is, what must be done before you carry out the time series analysis? For one to carry out the time series analysis, one needs to understand the descriptive aspect to be able to understand the data at hand. And also you need to understand the component of time series before forecasting, so that you can understand the patterns, the trends, and the measurement of the data. We've talked about what must be done before we carry out time series analysis. Now we move to the principle of data ethics. What must be done for companies to uphold these ethics? Firstly, I'll talk about the data privacy. Privacy allows individuals to have control over their personal data. An organization must comply with data privacy law and get consent from the individuals before collecting or sharing data. The second principle of data ethics will be transparency. This is a process whereby the individual have clear overview about the data the organization is collecting or sharing. This means that the organization has to inform the individuals on how they handle and process their data. The third principle of data ethics will be accountability, and this process is all about the organization responsible for the data they collect or share. They are aware that they need to protect the data. The fourth principle would be equality. In this case, organization must be careful not to discriminate against individuals or group when handling or processing data. We move on to the fourth question, where I am being asked, what will I do if I notice the data is being biased? And in this scenario, in this case, the first thing I do is to report to my team leader, and if I have a benefit of doubt that if he's not gonna take the advice or follow the rules of the law regarding the data ethics, I'll have to speak. I'll have to go ahead and speak to the manager to inform him how the data is being biased. So reporting to the manager will be the best approach for me. In this case, I am saving my job as a data analyst. I'll move on to the next question, where I'm being asked, what is regression or model? For me, regression model are used to measure the relationship between two quantitative variables, and they are being used to create a predictive model. I'll move on to the meaning of classification model. Classification model predicts what category an entity will fall into based on the set of a predefined features. An example of classification model is random forest and decision trees. When to use them? Probably I'm going to use a regression model to predict continuous quantity, while classification model I use it to predict discrete class labels. This will be the end of my presentation, and thank you for listening to this presentation.